Hey everybody, it's your friend Sarmate here, and we're back with another episode of Farthest Frontier. I hope you're having a fantastic and amazing day today. Now, this playthrough I haven't looked at since the last episode, and since then we've done 2 live streams with about six or so hours of playtime. So I've learned quite a few things, and we're gonna have to make some adjustments to what we got going on here. So that's what we're gonna be working on in this episode, as well as progressing just a little bit more. We did hit T2 in the last episode, so something we're gonna have to learn to watch out for is some raiders and some bandits. So they're definitely going to come at some point. They typically come in the spring, I've learned, and was assisted with. People have been telling me all sorts of tips and tricks they've been learning. I am planning a tips and tricks video for this game, so keep your eyes peeled for that. I'm not sure exactly when I'm going to get to it, but I'm definitely going to have one here eventually. So let's get into this. So looks like we're working on a weaver building, which is great, but we don't have any flax, so we're gonna have to get into that. We are also gonna need a trader. Isn't that something that I'm not seeing anywhere around town here? So we're gonna absolutely need a trader happening to get some gold, because we're getting to the point now where lots of buildings are gonna be requiring gold to build. Without them, the only gold that we're getting is from the market here, and it's not gonna cut it. So we definitely need a couple more ways to get gold here. We got some new villagers immigrated, a new villager was born. Looks like we have plenty of wiggle room for housing, so that's awesome. Let's go ahead and get what I was talking about here, the trade done. So this guy, trading post, we need a good spot for it. So the raiders are going to focus on your storehouses, and the trading post is another thing I've seen them go after a lot, mainly because I put a lot of my gold in the trading post. And if you've been watching my live streams, you know why I'm going to do that, but we'll get to it in this playthrough when we get to it. But for now, let's go ahead and get our trading post down. It looks like we got storage here. That's going to be our weaver, and we got storage here. So it kind of makes sense to put these all together. So we'll get this guy going right there, right by our compost yard. And then this crop field is looking a little enormous. I've been building a lot of 5x5 crop fields. I think this was a 10x10. The 5x5 crop fields use only 1 worker, where this 10x10 is using 5. So what I think we're going to do is a little bit of salvage of buildings on that guy. Well, let's get rid of that. Let's rework this, and we're going to get some more farms happening. Another thing that I've learned from our streams is we are going to want a wall. So I was kind of looking at what we got going on right now, and we have plenty of room for a wall. So that'll be great. We'll absolutely put that in. Once we get to T3 stuff, lots of stone's going to be used for that, so that's what we're going to be working on. It's going to take a long time to get to that point, but I'll be working on that as well in the background. We got a work camp getting built over here. Excellent. We've learned a lot, like I said. So the work camps don't necessarily have to be built in the midst of whatever you're trying to work on, be it rocks or wood or a combination. We can click on the work camp, the fishery, the arborist, all sorts of different things in this game. And look for this little guy right here, retarget building work radius. We can go anywhere with this, like all the way over here, and click over here, and they're gonna get these trees, or these trees, any of them. So for now, since it's close by, we're just gonna plop it right here. But it seems simple, but it's extremely powerful, in my opinion. I think it's a really, really nice touch in this game, for sure. Now, one thing that I really used it for was for our arborist in the stream. I had the arborist inside the walls, and then the work area was outside the walls, where I had a bunch of different trees. They go out there, they work. It's great. It's a really, really cool system. I'm really happy that they have it in here. I'm gonna want it for everything now. It looks like we are having a building attacked and a predator sighted. So predators are gonna be an issue here, especially as we start to expand and we're gonna start to get into their territory. So it's something to keep in mind. We're gonna want to have guards. We can use our citizens to fight back on that stuff, the raiders and the predators, but it's not great to lose workers, so we're gonna try not to do that. But we do have, it looks like, a lot of nice flat land over here. So I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna continue with my idea of having the farm like in here, but I think I'm gonna go out further this direction. So let's go ahead and we'll get our road and tie it in over there, and I'm also gonna put one here, bring it on down south. Maybe not. There we go. Got it. And this guy I'm probably gonna move as well. It has a huge negative effect on desirability, but luckily these guys are way over here, so it's clear. But it's just something to keep in mind. Look at this bear just following this guy around town. What the heck, dude? Fight this guy off. We lost one worker, but we got rid of the bear. I mean, sometimes you gotta do that kind of stuff. It sucks, but we don't have the bear harassing everybody anymore. Okay, that's good. That's taken care of. Another thing that we gotta look at here is we have 5 laborers and 4 builders. A pretty good balance right now. If you run out of either one of those things, the labor, you're not going to have anybody to replace your people with, and then you're going to have a harder time moving stuff around. And the builder, you aren't going to be able to build anything, and that sucks because there's a lot of things you want to be building. Like we have all of these guys that we have queued up here, but nothing's happening. Mainly because we need some more planks, and in order to get more planks, we are going to need some more logs. So it is springtime too, so I'm kind of wary about those raiders happening. We don't really have a ton to raid, so I don't know what's going to happen with that, but we'll see. But anyways, let's find our saw people, these guys. We got 2 people working on there already. Great. Let's go ahead and add 1 more person to this. And we did make another work camp, so that should have at least 2 people in it. Yep. And these guys are taking out the trees for us, so that's awesome. So that's good. That's happening how we want it to happen. Let's prioritize our trading post, because what happens with gold? So we got yearly taxes collected here, right? And that's from the market. We look up here, and in this case, it looks like we would be, well, it looks like we'll be even here. So we're 15 minus 4, that's 11, and then an additional minus 11 is 0. But if we move that gold into our trade post, it doesn't go away. If you leave it there in the top right here in the storehouses, if your monthly gold report is taking away more gold than you're creating, you're gonna run out of gold. Luckily though, you don't go negative gold. So if you move it into your trading post, and we'll do that when we get to this point, once this thing gets built up, move it into your trading post. So long as raiders and bandits or whoever don't attack it, you don't lose any of that gold. It's really, really nice, really handy. So I'll show you that when we get there. A couple other things that I was kind of thinking about doing is rearranging a few more of our buildings. Like we have like this guy out here, Hunter Cabin. Like I said, we don't have to have this way out in the woods like this. It could also come to the point where we aren't finding any more game, so we have to retarget this anyways. So that guy, we could probably move that around. Or we just leave it. Either way, it looks like we have lots of deer out over here. So I'm going to go ahead and target out here as well, and we're going to get some of that action done. We have another forager over here, so that's getting us a little bit more food. Arborist building, we need some clay. Looks like we're getting some clay. Where do we have our clay mine? I'm gonna turn up the speed just a little bit more. We were kind of moving a little slow there. Here it is. Okay, cool. So we do have a clay mine operating. 2 people working in there. That's great. Getting a little bit of clay. Clay is used for a lot of different buildings in this game, so it's gonna be a good thing to store up for sure. And then something else that I want to do is, well, we're gonna need some more trees. So let's go ahead and we're gonna build another. Let's go resources, and then we're gonna go to work camp. We want another work camp. We might as well. Could really put this anywhere. I think we'll kind of go. We'll go like right over in here. We'll leave, like I said, we'll leave this space for the farms. And now that I'm thinking about farms, let's go ahead and do that and get a couple of these guys started. Oh, and look at this! The fertility on this spot is fantastic. So that's one thing in our streams that where I was building our farms, there was like hardly any fertility, so it kind of wasn't great as far as that goes. But we were working on it. So we do want some more food. We do have 5 months. That's pretty good. We're not losing anything to spoilage. Super good. And here is some raiders. So we have 4 raiders. I'm going to go ahead and hit the bell here. And so what that's going to do is going to call all of our peeps into the metal or to the town center here. But it looks like they're still... Oh, no, they're coming in. Great. And this hunter is shooting at this guy here, and they should just scrap here. Yep. Okay, so our villager beat that guy. These guys are attacking the storehouse, and they are routing because our tower was fighting back. And let's see if this guy gets away. It looks like he's going to get away. So let's go ahead and put our people back out into the world here. And this raider is going to walk on by. See you later. That guy almost got taken out. That would have been good. So one thing that I want to put in here is some towers. We're going to need some gold for those towers, though. So we really need to get this trading post thing built up, get some more planks happening, and get some towers going as well. It's going to cost a little bit of gold to do so. So something on the list here. We got a lot of stuff that we got to work on now that I've learned a few things. Speaking of things that I've learned, So if we look at our houses here, go decorations, and we have small gardens. Now, I don't have a lot of wiggle room because I was unawares of this, but the big part of the housing in this game is the desirability of the locations. Let's just take a look at our quick Raider report here before I carry on with that. We had 4 people that came in. We killed 2 of them. No villagers or buildings got destroyed, but they did take 32 gold ingots, some weapons, arrows, and pelts. Unfortunately, they got away with a good amount of stuff. So, I mean, we got to build some towers to help defend. But anyway, so I was talking about the beautification of the buildings around here. So if you hit G, it's going to open up your desirability thing here. And the first level of building, I guess, evolution is 30%. So it's pretty high. So if we click on this guy right here, you can see here that this guy wants 25 homesteads. Okay, so how do you get a homestead? Well, you click on your shelters. You need a tier 2 town center. You need a basic well. You need, there it is, 30% desirability. You need 2 types of food, and you need some herbs and some planks. But that desirability is the trickiest part. So what you got to do, what I will be doing in the future, is leaving space for this type of stuff. So everything in here, with the exception of the birch trees and the park, or a small garden, I mean, requires gold. So it's hard to get. So check this out. 5 gold on this small shrub. This thing needs 20. This is 15 for 50. Like, these are not cheap things. So small garden takes planks, takes a couple rocks. We're going to go ahead and do that. We need to have a lot of them. There's a couple other buildings that help with desirability too, but this is going to be our main focus. We may need to do it, really. You know, and I just had a thought. What if I deleted some of these houses and just kind of scooted them down a little bit? We should be able to do that. So, like, I would move this house. Let's see. So we want space here, a space here, a space here. 3 spaces to the right. And we should be able to do that. Let's see. Let's see if we can get away with this. All right. So 1, 2, 3. Attack by predators. Okay. That should be okay like that. So it's going to take us a moment, but we're going to slowly move our buildings over and replace them. And we should be able to do that. And then we'll be able to put our gardens in between them. And that should be pretty nice. So we just got to wait for that stuff to happen. We're still working on our farms over here. Looks like they're coming along pretty good here. We're at 480 more labor hammers, whatever we want to call them, on that. Oh, but look at this. We have somebody at our trading post. Okay, so similarly with our settlement survival, where I was starting to pause the game so we didn't lose our workers, you need to either be really quick, know what you're doing, or pause the game, because if you look here, this person is departing in 17 days, and this person is in 19 days. So if you're not ready, they leave. And it's just better to pause it, because then your timer isn't taken down. So currently, we don't really have anything to trade. The trading is a little bit weird to get used to in this game. The UI isn't as clear as I'd like it to be, but we'll walk through that when we get to the trade post. Right now, I don't have anything to trade, like I said, so to try and explain it without showing you actually doing it doesn't really make any sense. So what I might do, let's just see quick if we have anything extra. We don't have any baskets extra or pottery, anything like that. So we're just going to let it go for now. And we need to work on something that we can trade. It might be honey. It might be the pottery there, or baskets. We'll see. Or maybe shoes or something. We'll see. But we're not quite to that point yet. But that's one of the best ways to get gold. So do the trading. Leave all the gold in your trading post, and you should be good to go. Okay, so just what I was talking about. We got 44 gold here. If we go transfer gold, we got 44 in global storage trading post. So if we hit this little guy and we drag it over here, now we'll have 44 in the trading post, and it won't go anywhere. So now you got to actually move it, but now it'll be here. And then as soon as the bandits come back, if we don't have any towers, they're going to hit this. So that's another thing what I should do. I should probably put a tower in and prioritize that as the building. And then we will have a little bit of defense going on here, which is obviously something we want to have. So I'm going to pop this guy. Let's get it to be in range of the town center there. The reason being is we want the town center to be able to hit the base of the tower, and the tower to hit the town center as well. Because if you have a melee guy hitting and attacking the bottom of your tower, and the tower itself can't hit it, they're just going to destroy your tower, and that's going to be that. So you want to be able to place your towers, your other buildings, the other defensive structures in range of each other so they can help each other out. Just a little thingy there. Okay, so we got this guy built up. Looks like we have the gold already for the tower happening. Great. We need a little bit more planks. We have some more logs we need, it looks like. How are we doing on labors? Only 2 and only 3 builders? Oh, that's not good. We would need a little bit of an immigration boost here. But it does look like our house is good to go here. So let's go ahead and move this one. We are going to relocate this building as well. So we're going to leave the 1 space for the gardens there. And I screwed that up. I may have screwed it up. I wanted to have 1 space here, 1 space here, 1 space here. But we'll see. Okay, and then we could... Can I build another house like in betwixt this? Let's see. Housing, you... Okay, so yeah, there is space here. So what I think I'll do is we can build houses over here, and then we'll put gardens on the back side, and we'll just line this whole back line with gardens. We could adjust this house at least, move that one over a little bit, and this one over a little bit, and maybe we will do that here as we are continuing to do that with these guys. So there we go. We'll move this guy 1 more over, and then we have plenty of room for gardens. So we'll go ahead and do that. Let that get rebuilt up, and then we'll put some more gardens in there. Okay, and it looks like our farms are on cooldown because it's winter. So hopefully this season we can get some of those things started. It'd be really great. Oh, and then our arborist building is completed. So this thing, like I said, is really cool. So we have our current work radius right here, right on top of the building where everything starts. But that, that doesn't really work that great. So if we retarget this thing, and I'm going to kind of go up in here. Well, we want to put it in a place where we're not going to be expanding for like ever, ideally, but I don't know how that's going to work. So we'll put it back here a ways. We want to have room for that wall that we're talking about putting in here eventually. But for now, let's go ahead and we'll plop this guy back here. And then we get to plant some apple trees, peaches, and pear trees. So let's go ahead and get this guy started up. So we can plant it anywhere, but we want it to be inside the work radius so that they actually work this stuff. So we're going to go ahead and do, let's see, can we do 6? That is 5. I don't know if that's in far enough. We'll go with a 5 for now. We'll do that first row. And then let's go ahead and do peaches. I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7, hopefully. Okay, and then we'll finally go pears, and we'll do a similar deal here. And we'll get a whole bunch more on the way. And we'll leave it like that for now. We can add more stuff in for sure. But for now, let's just do that. We have a villager stricken with typhoid. Another thing that we can get into is the healer. Super, super good thing to have, obviously. It's a healer. But the trick with it is it takes a educated person. So we have to build the school first, and then we can do that. So let's go ahead. I think that was in here. We have the school, we have the rat catcher, and we have the healer's house. We already have the trading post. The school is going to take 100 gold, so it's quite a bit of gold. We're looking at 56 already, so we're doing okay. Healer's house, also low 100. So let's go ahead. We got our school. We can get our school to affect the desirability of all these houses right here, so that's awesome. Let's go ahead and put that guy about right here. We got room for a garden on that side, and now we have plenty of room on either side of our homes over here. Let's go ahead and shift this guy 1 more over as well, about right there, and then we can also shift that one, and we should be okay to do that. Okay, and then once those are done, I'll put the gardens in. We'll do that all at the same time. All right, so our crop field's good to go. So these things are kind of complex. There's a lot to it. You got to worry about the soil mixture, the fertilities. And I'll show you what I've figured out seems to work okay. So if we go here, click to add crops. We are going to go with peas. I use peas a lot in my games. But the reason we're going to go for peas is if we look at this. So the crop yield is meh, but they're frost tolerant. The heat tolerance isn't great, but I've never really had any plants really die from overheating so far, and they usually die because they're cold. The rockiness resilience is great, 8 out of 10. Weed suppression, they don't do anything to suppress the weeds, so there's going to be weeds if you let them be there. The grow time is pretty quick, 92, I'm not sure what that is, days or whatever. The impact fertility, +2, ±5. So I could be wrong here, but I think what that means is it can go -3 all the way to +7. So that's a pretty big span, and the majority of that is in the plus range. So we want it to help the fertility as much as possible. And then their fertility dependence is 4 out of 10. So kind of dependent on fertility, but not overly so. So peas are just kind of a good rounded out crop, in my opinion. So we're going to click peas. We're going to also click this little guy here that is working the fields. So what that's going to do is take the rocks and the weeds, some of them, out of the fields. I think that's absolutely necessary to do on every line, and that's what we're going to do on every line. We're going to go ahead and go with peas again, do the same thing, and then finally, we're going to go for clovers. Now, besides all the other stuff, the clover is kind of whatever. The thing that I like about clovers is that their impact on fertility is +5, plus or -5. So they either do nothing or they give it +10, which is just crazy good. And that is the best crop so far in the game that I have been able to find as far as impacting fertility positively. There's a couple that don't hurt it so much. There's a couple like the wheat here that hurts it a lot. So I looked a little bit here, and I think that the clovers are the best. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So this is the other one. Beans are okay. So +2 plus or -5. Again, -3 to 7. So clover is going to be our guy, and then we're going to go ahead and do that. And so we have every year we're going to take weeds out, we're going to take rocks out, and then one year the field is going to have a break, and we're going to try and get the fertility back up a little bit. Now, so since we don't have sand yet, and we don't really have any clay, we can't adjust this a whole lot. We could adjust for the clay. But what we need right now is to get this more in the green, and we need some sand. We don't have, apparently we do have a little bit of sand. So we're going to set this yellow one to be as close to the middle of the green as possible. And then once we get sand, I don't think we have it yet, because when you do have it, this little guy here turns green. It says +10. So that's what we want to look for. Finally, with the crop fields, I found it to be quite beneficial to use the same type of crop on the same field. So we have one 5x5 field. It's only doing peas with the exception of the clover, but that's not for like a food thing. So this one crop will have peas. This next one maybe we'll do flax. So while you can, absolutely, it's kind of more advanced, I feel like. You could go peas and wheat, but what happens is if you do 2 different crops, they take different soil mixtures, and then you're not getting the benefits of having the best soil mixtures for your peas, the best soil mixture for your wheat or flax or whatever. So my suggestion is put your crop fields in, do 5x5s, put these guys in there, put your clovers in there, and pick one other crop to work on. And that seems to be pretty good. Now, the fields that we're using in our streams, where I learned most of this information from, the fertility rate isn't that high, so we lose a lot of them. But hopefully, with this new land that we got here, it shouldn't be so bad. But that's enough about farms. I think we got that figured out pretty good here. And then we have our hunter here. Looks like we need some more ammunition, and I think that is from the Butcher, which is... Where do we have that guy? It's kind of easy to spot because it has the archery targets outside of it. We should... Oh, here it is. Okay, good. So yeah, it's working fine. 60 arrows, 3 bows. Awesome. Oh, that was all in the last year, too. Okay, so here's our work camp that we threw in here. We wanted to get a little bit more wood out of this guy. So we're going to go ahead and look at a nice forest right in here. We'll get that plopped in there right there. And we'll leave it the ratio 1-to-1 for logs versus stone. There isn't any stone over there, so it's going to be mostly logs anyways, and that's just fine. That's what I want. We still have a very limited amount of planks, but our firewood's doing okay, and our stock on logs is doing okay. So what we could do, let's check to see how are we doing with people here. We got 8 free people. Let's go ahead and add... I wonder what those 2 different numbers are here. I know this is the one I'm adjusting. So we're going to go 5, and so this should dip down to 4, and that should be 5? I wonder why that wouldn't match. Anyways, so we'll go 4 laborers. We'll get a couple more builders coming in. Actually, maybe not. What are we building? Do we need a lot of those builders? Or can we start putting people to work here? Yeah, it looks like we're not really building anything, so maybe we don't need so many. We could put in a little fence, though. One thing that happens with the farms is that you can get deer that come in and they eat your crops, and it just sucks because they eat a lot of them. We want to try to not do that. But before we build the gate, let's go ahead. We've been talking about this episode. Let's get some beautification happening, some decorations, get some small gardens, get some desirabilities up. So this game, I haven't learned, maybe you can do it, but I haven't learned how to turn off trees yet. So you gotta it's kind of hard to see some cases, but we're just gonna go ahead and plop a bunch of gardens in betwixt here, like we mentioned. We have an impending blizzard. Oh boy. Sometimes the game doesn't allow you to click on stuff, especially if there's this has greens here. Sometimes it's hard to get to this square. Sometimes you click on the greens. It's a little finicky. If it doesn't seem like it's working, like right here, I'm clicking that. You gotta just kind of play with it. It'll work as long as it's open. So yeah, like right there, it took me a minute, but I got it. And then let's go ahead and pop some gardens in betwixt here. And you can see as you get closer we have gardens selected, that 27 on the bottom left is going to go up to 29. So if this was here, it shows you the effect, which I think is a really neat idea. They added that in. It's super helpful. So we're going to place a bunch of these guys right in here. And then kind of running out of space on this side of the world, but we can put in a couple more gardens over here. And I did miss that first one over here. There we go. Okay, and then we were talking about getting on got a road back here? Nope, looks like the road kind of stopped. So we'll go ahead and get some of these guys back here maybe. Oh, yeah, see what I mean? It's kind of hard to click on those sometimes. So we'll just kind of ignore it for now. We'll get these things built up. We'll see where we're sitting as far as desirability goes. And then we'll see what else we can do about it. There are pubs in this game, and the pubs help out the desirability quite a bit. So we'll have to do that when we get there. And then we did get our school done. We need a teacher, so we should be able to do this. Okay, so this happened to me before too. So you need to have the school in order to teach the doctors. But how you get that first educated person is apparently still a big question mark to me, because if I click on this, no educated villagers are available. So how do you get an educated villager when you need an educated villager to train another educated villager? I don't know. I just happened to click on it when we were on stream and it happened to work. So I'm not sure where they came from. Maybe it was an immigrant. I have no idea. So we'll hopefully figure that out together. If you know, please let me know, because then I'll share it with everybody else and then we can all learn together. But let's set up our other crops here. I think what we'll do, we're doing really good with food. We got 7 months. So I think we'll put some flax in here. And we'll go ahead and do flax, and then our clover, and then work person. And then, so the one thing about this game is you can do some crop rotation stuff and things. So we could have a whole wad of fields. If we had 3 fields here, you could put clover here on 3, clover here on 1, and then clover here on 2 on 3 different fields. And so you're always making, in this case, flax. You're always making flax. You're always having something coming off the fields. It's not in as big of a bulk quantity, but you're helping to keep your fields happier and healthier with the fertility rate and up when you're doing that. So something that you can do, keep in mind, I'm not going to do that in this instance with only 2, and we're building different things anyway. So how are we... I was saying, how are villagers getting cured when we don't have a doctor? But I guess people are allowed to get better just on their own. But anyways, it looks like we're at max cap with our people here. So we're going to have to add a couple more houses. And look at this. Okay, so we did lose some crops lost to frost, and that is our flax. So I'm kind of confused on how that happened, because it's mid-spring, I guess. So how they planted that quickly, I'm not sure yet. But anyways, I think that's going to be it for this episode of Farthest Frontier. Thanks for coming and hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed this one. I hope you learned something. There's a lot of stuff in this game. We're just barely breaking the surface of it, I think. So yeah, like I said before, if you know some tips, you know some tricks, let me know. I'll let everybody else know. We can all get better at the game together. It's going to be great. It's a fun game. It's great. Looks awesome. But anyways, have a fantastic and amazing rest of your evening, day, or night. And I hope to see you on the next episode of Farthest Frontier.